say goodbye, chat. I'm gonna hide you now so I can't see what you're saying. Please, no more cum jokes. There's gonna be so many cum jokes. And we are gonna start it on a tiny little episode, 23 minutes, not very long. There's not very much in it. Which I figure, like, since I got through the short that was like a few minutes long in under an hour, probably knock this one out in 20. I'm sure it'll be easy peasy. Full moon tonight. Pride weather update. Partially cloudy. Redder than usual somehow. Okay, well that's a way to start.
Thank you to the butterflies.
Here's another way to start. Okay, we're starting with a musical. Okay. I guess he's still recovering from the stab wounds, I guess.
In my stomach I haven't felt this nervous since I was a little fluffy down nestling. My daring do is half disguised.
Wait, where did the vomit go? Hang on. It was a lot of it. It was there on the floor a second ago. You have very effective maid service, Stolas. You really do.
Thank you to the butterflies. In my stomach I haven't felt this nervous since I was a little fluffy down nestling. My daring do is half disguised. Behind the smile my beak is grinding, ever minding. I swore I wouldn't dwell on the divorce, so for my own health I'll remind myself that when I see him, I know that it won't feel so tough. I'll believe him and not the voice that says I'm not enough.
Yeah, sure you will. Sure you will, Stolas. Yeah, I'll believe him and not the voice that says I'm not enough. Don't you worry, I've got everything handled and under control, and I'm emotionally stable. Oh boy.
No need for an arrangement. It can just be him and me. I'll set us free. How perfect it could be.
Oh, there. Oh, precious boy. Oh no.
When I see him tonight.
Let's see. Nothing. Business day, Millie party, Moxie day, practice, Luna on walk. Call Fizzies. Aw, they're friends again. Daddy-daughter day. Moon. Stupid. Don't forget the bondage kit. I mean, I guess.
See him tonight? All right. It's been a while since he begged for attention. Are we okay? Can't really say. I'm getting by avoiding his questions. So complicated. I hate when it's complicated. Why do I always end up in situations that are complicated? Here I go again, getting in my head, so I'll focus on the sexy stuff instead.
When I see
him, I'm gonna do that thing he likes.
I will change.
No need to change things.
Oh boy. Oh no. Oh dear. Again, this thing we talked about, right? Like, the way that they are operating, they're both trying to do right by each other, but they're doing it in completely opposite directions. It's like, I will change everything in a grand gesture. And Blitz is like, I don't want anything weird to happen. I want things to be stable for 5 seconds. Please, nothing change right now. Oh, no. Oh.
I'll just bring the rope and spice.
Oh, God.
We've got a nice arrangement, and it's working out just fine. We'll keep it light.
I'll fucking die alone if this goes bad when I see him tonight. Am I doing something I can't take back?
Relax.
Would he want me if he was free?
We're fine.
Oh, no. We're on the Titanic. We're rearranging the deck chairs. Like, the band is over there. They're striking up the song. Like, they're starting to play. You can hear, like, you can sort of feel the deck start to lift ever so gently as, like, the back of the boat is filling up with water.
And if he's only here as a prisoner, what kind of monster does that make me?
And Stola's like so operatic. Oh, baby boy. And understandably, like he's only here as a prisoner. What kind of monster does that make me? Such dramatic terms. Sweet boy.
My entire life's been written in stone. He taught me that I could choose. He deserves the choice to stay or go, though it scares me to think what I'd lose.
Can't wait to lose ourselves in nasty sex and make that bird squawk.
Really must converse.
We'll just stick with what makes sense, like him sucking my...
This is the...
Oh, for God's sake. Here's me worrying about chat making cum jokes. I was like, oh, right, this is the show full of cum jokes.
This is the worst. Waiting for the shoe to drop.
Who needs words when you got a mouth full of...
Come to your senses.
And also, like, fucking cheese-ass, cornball-ass, fucking the, oh, we're finishing each other's sentences so it sounds dirty, but it's not really. I want to be mad at that. I want to be like, oh, that's so dumb. But, like, no, it's kind of perfect, actually.
And I'll do that thing with my tongue where I...
worthy of your love and trust.
Oh, his bird was nice and rough.
Tonight cannot come soon.
It'll be coming soon enough. Oh, yeah!
But when I see him, will it be tender or be tough? Will it please him, or will I just be fucking it all up?
Yeah, that's, oh boy. Trying to delay the Titanic from sinking as much as possible here. I need to find something to talk about. Roses, thorns, flowers, plants, symbolism, imagery. Cool. That means something, I'm sure. That is a very horny gesture, not gonna lie.
This is the worst.
I do like that Stolas is like, buddy boy, it's not until tonight, it's morning, you're dressed up fully already, but that, I have ADHD, so I know that impulse of like, shit, I don't want to be late, which means I have to be massively too early.
The worst, waiting for the shoe to drop.
Who needs words when you got a mouth full of...
Come to your senses.
Then I'll do that thing with my tongue where I...
worthy of your love and trust.
Oh, his bird was nice and...
Right, it's like, Blitz is building himself up to a position of confidence, right? Like, it's okay. Right, I know I have a stable position to occupy here. Like, I know, like, whatever else, like, no matter what else happens, he likes the dicking nice and hard, right? Like, I can absolutely make that bird come his absolute fucking brains out. That's the thing I can do. This is the thing I have control over. This is a means I have to preserve the status quo for at least one more month, at least until the next full moon where we have to do it all over again. But like, I can do this. I can preserve things. Things can be normal. Nothing has to change. Don't worry about it. I can put off dealing with whatever the fuck this is right now. And Stolas is there like, I am going to change everything by force if necessary. It's like, because for Stolas, like, he's feeling so stuck and insecure in the position that he's in that he needs something to change, right? Like for Stolas, something has to change, and for Blitz, things changing is what he's terrified of, right? Because that means, oh shit, no more stability. I had this stability that I was holding on to, and now, like, oh no. Good intentions, completely in opposite directions.
Tonight cannot come soon.
It'll be coming soon enough. Oh, yeah!
Again, look, leps bimps. Bleps bimps. Bleps bleps.
But when I see him, will it be tender or be tough? Will it please him, or will I just be fucking it all up? Can this be a relationship, or am I still naive?
I mean, both things are true, buddy.
I'll set us free, whatever it may be, when I see him tonight.
Stolas, I don't think once you've plucked the flower, you can just put it... I think once it's plucked, it's kind of like, you can't just put it back in the bush and then... Okay, well, I mean, maybe things work differently in hell.
My baby! Someone save my baby!
Okay, what are we doing here? I mean, we're up in the human world, clearly, so... The little coyote time. Like, yep, hanging in the air and vanish, right? Like, this is like very classic cartooning to have like this series of overlapping hills and you have like a thing like traverse over them quickly. Like, that's a classic way to create like depth in the image. Some lovely smearing on this baby pram as well. My baby! Fucking crocodiles and a shark. What the fuck?
Sure hope this glass doesn't break.
That would have been funnier if it didn't break. Come on. That would have been funnier if it didn't. That would have been funny if it swerved right around it. Come on. I'm not saying it's a bad joke. I'm just saying, like,
Oh, thank you, thank you! How could I ever repay you?
No need, ma'am. I was just in the right place at the right time.
Is this the... Is this a... I saw that glowing little hand. Is this the fucking Cherubs? It's the fucking Cherubs. Okay. Okay, so they're back. Are you gonna have personalities this time? Are you gonna be interesting? Are you gonna mean anything? Am I gonna give a shit about you this time? Or are we about to just do another series of dumb jokes?
Did you have to hug him so hard? I'm at underwear level, you know, and that guy clearly hadn't showered today.
Oh, stop complaining. I had to sell it, didn't I? How'd we do, Cletus?
Not great. Let's set up for another run.
I don't know, Cletus. Doesn't this all seem a little... sinful?
We've been over this. We are still helping people. We just provided that man with an opportunity to be selfless and heroic.
I gotta... whoa, that voice does grate on me. Ooh. I got a message that some people are having, like, an hour of slow mode. It's only supposed to be 60 seconds. Actually, it's set to 10 seconds right now. Let me just turn it off. It does seem to be acting a bit weirdly because I turned it on and then nothing seems to happen, like, for a while. So I've turned off slow mode. Hopefully that will actually turn it off. I do want you to be able to talk. Just, yeah, maybe not. Okay. Listen. You can be naughty children for a bit, but at some point, Daddy spank. Just so you know.
After that performance, he's sure to get into heaven. We just saved a soul.
Is that how it works?
Don't you think eternal salvation is worth $20 and a Quiznos punch card?
I guess it's just...
You want to eat, don't you? Want to live long enough to save more souls and earn our way back into heaven?
Of course. I just...
Well then, quiet your incessant...
It's not... Is this gonna be like a recurring... Oh no. Is this gonna be like a recurring villain parade? Like, are we gonna... like, is it gonna be like the fucking Loopty and the fucking dorks and like the fucking... Oh, I feel apprehensive about... Just please... Cletus is bad enough. I don't need Loopty in my life.
Into heaven?
Of course. I just...
Well then, quiet your incessant whinging and get back under that coat! We have to... Wow!
It's the dorks. Okay. Right. Okay. Please just let it be that... Like, just the dorks. Just the dorks and the cherubs. Let that be enough. Please, for the love of God. It is satisfying to see them electrocuted, though, I will say that.
What? Where are we?
We ask the questions here, Hellspawn.
But I'm just a little baby! Why would you...
Drop the bullshit! We know you're working for that demon filth.
Where's your boss?
What boss?
This guy.
You know that? Peanut Head?
So that's his name.
You know, I think maybe we can help each other out here.
Superhero landing. Blood. Okay, yeah, but superhero landing, though.
Harp shooting there, Mox. Pro as usual. Millie, beautiful bloody mess in there. Fuck. What a great fucking day this is.
Oh, boy. Yeah. Hooray. So, like, right when... I mean, it does make sense. Like, from a structural perspective, okay, we're bringing back, like, the most annoying... Oh, my God, please don't bring back Loopty. We're bringing back the most annoying villains possible. Like, the really fucking annoying motherfuckers, the really fucking tedious to deal with, right at the same moment as Stolas is trying to force the issue on their relationship. Like, I get it. Structurally speaking, I completely understand. I completely understand that from a structural perspective. Also, I wish that please not Loopty. Just not him. The rest of them, okay, I'll deal, but...
Sure seem in good spirits today, sir. It's rare. Good spirits today, sir. It's rare to see you wear something not bad.
Well, it's the... First of all, fuck you. It's the full moon. I gotta meet up with Stolas tonight. Felt like dressing up a little since it's been a few months since I've been inside of his feathered ass.
A few months?
Yeah, the birds started giving me more ways out of our monthly fuck sesh. He'd be all like, oh, Blitzy, I know it's the full moon tonight, but you don't have to come if you don't want to, Blitzy. So I've just been taking breaks from having to plow his feathered ass into his fancy ass mattress.
Ugh. TMI, sir.
Point being, tonight I feel like I could use a little fuckery. It's been a good day, feeling like my stamina's up, and I'm horny.
Oh shit, he's getting bored of you.
Oh, Luna. I'm kind of surprised, like, it kind of feels like Blitz might be in that headspace himself already. It's like, oh, he hasn't actually been pestering me so much to come fuck him. Like, he hasn't been giving me those dirty phone calls. He hasn't been, like, it feels a little bit like Blitz is maybe like, whoa, hang on, wait a minute. Is something becoming unstable here? I'd better, like, do the thing I normally do to stabilize the relationship.
What? Yeah, man. If someone wants to see you less and less, big red flag. If they give you chances to ditch, they probably want out themselves.
Luna isn't wrong, except, of course, she is, but she's not wrong from the perspective of, like, that's the normal way you would interpret that stuff. Again, Stolas thinks he's giving Blitz, like, the freedom he needs and wants, right? He thinks he's giving Blitz, like the opportunity to opt out so that Stolas doesn't feel like he's forcing him or pushing him into anything. But because the communication is bad, this is a completely valid interpretation of that behavior.
Just want to be more passive-aggressive about it. Dicks.
How do you know, Luna?
I do that all the time.
Well, tits. Guess I finally got to do position 37 tonight. Don't worry, though. This book ain't going nowhere. If I have anything to fuck about it, I'll dick him so good, he'll let us keep this thing another year easy.
Well, I hope so, sir. Business has actually hit a peak, and it would be disastrous to lose what we worked for now. So fuck him good, sir.
Don't worry, Mox. By the end of the night, I'll have Stolas eating out of my ass. If the gag will let him.
Stop!
I'm sorry, Mox, but you set him up for that one. Like literally inflating his head for that one. I do like Mox's animation here, like the little picking up the paper. Like, that it's not just he picks it up, but he does the little twirl. And like a nice, fully animated little speech cycle there. Like the little tap on the paper. Like, I am Mr. Business. I am business-like, sir. I am keeping my eye on the ball. I'm thinking in terms of business, smarty pants, smart terms, right? So fuck him good, sir. Like, how did you think Blitz was gonna respond to that, Mox?
Don't worry, Mox. By the end of the night, I'll have Stolas eating out of my ass. If the gag will let him.
Stop!
Okay, grow up, Mox. That's what adults do. We're horny. Fuck me, Moxie. We've used like all the shit in this box. If Stolas is bored after this.
You've used all. Hopefully not that one.
If Stolas is bored after this, I need to up the ante. Moxie, I need you to hold down the fort. Get some overdue paperwork done.
What overdue paperwork?
Well, yeah, no, that'll do it. ASMR reloading guns, watch later. Remember eels? Red... Huh? Go to the gas.
So why would a bunch of angels be looking for demons?
We just want to get back into...
We're exorcists, the flaming swords of the heavens, here to strike them down with fiery vengeance.
Oh, yeah. We lay in wait for them to return to Earth, so we might smite them once and for all.
Guys talking about... Ow!
Thankfully, the dorks are very stupid.
Maybe you don't have to wait.
Come with us.
Where the fuck do you get your budget? Those are Predator drones. Is that an army? Are those cardinals? No, they're not cardinals, they're bishops. That's fine, that's fine. If it's just
Since their
bishops.
assault on Compound X, our government has quadrupled our funding and allowed us unfettered access to the most bleeding-edge military advancement.
What? Oh my god, they're growing them in vats. Oh no, the miters are part of their heads? No, no. Oh, that is so many flavors of nasty.
Demonic containment cells. Hellfire suppression.
Is that Mothman?
Suits. Camouflage exoskeletons. And a
Power Rangers, fursuit. Of course it's a fursuit. My god.
battalion of highly trained combat priests. Also, we could finally utilize this.
What is it?
Our ticket to the other side.
An extra-dimensional portal generator. This bad boy will allow us to open a door straight into hell, where we plan on eliminating the demonic threat before they can tarnish this great country. Well, once we work out all the kinks, yeah.
Thanks.
So far, we've only been able to open the portal about 2 feet in diameter. Hardly big enough to fit a child through.
And we can't very well send children. But after last time... Those guys...
Fucking dipshits.
Goddamn American heroes.
Honestly, we're not even sure that was hell we sent them to. Point is, we could use someone or someones with more experience. How about it, little guys? Wanna help us hunt some demon scum?
I do like that they're leaning more specifically into these guys being the fucking worst, and this guy, like, he's the lamb, right? Like, he's literally the sacrificial lamb of the group. A little character design note. These suits hide their eyes, hide their faces. That one leaves his face open to be expressive. Right, to emote, to show us constantly the severe doubt that he has in all of this. That boy was so excited for that fursuit.
Welcome, little one. What can I interest you in today?
I'm looking for a snazzy candle. One that screams sexy. You got anything that'll get anyone in the mood, buddy?
Bitch, you're in the lust ring. Everything here has sexy energy.
Okay, just because it's a dick doesn't mean it's sexy.
But what kind of mood are you aiming for?
Wait, that's Brightman again, isn't it?
Mood, buddy?
Bitch, you're in the lust ring. Everything here has sexy energy. But what kind of mood are you aiming for?
Just horny, very, very horny. Max horny.
They're all horny. What's the mood?
I don't know. I'm a simple pervert imp. I just need something fucky.
Oh, there he is.
Let's take him.
Hold on! Where's the rest of them? He wasn't alone before. I say we follow him for a bit, make sure he's by himself.
Cletus, if we don't do this, we're never getting back into heaven.
Which is why we have to make sure this goes smoothly. We have only one shot. It has to be perfect.
It's just boobs. I mean, that's effective advertising.
Do you know the measurements of the other one?
Not really, but he's tall as shit.
Well, we have some pretty long harnesses.
Oh, that's fun. I like that's some fucking animators having some fun. Multi-limbed characters like this, like doing many things at once, manipulating many parts of something. Love it. Very pleased to see that.
Well, we have some pretty long harnesses. Also can't go wrong with something that stretches.
Ooh, that is fancy. All right, I'm into it.
Sweet heavens, what kind of store is this?
The fun kind.
This guy truly is a sicko!
Can I help you all?
Hello, fellow vile hell beast. We are on a totally normal demon day. Just out looking to get some good tormenting in. We need some good torture supplies.
Well, you have come to the right place, my slightly robotic-looking friend. What kind of torturing are we looking to do?
Oh, you know, just your standard pain.
As long as it doesn't hurt too much. Like, do you have any harshly worded bumper stickers?
Or something for a mild spanking?
Oh, that be up in spades. We got your blockers, your crops, your whips, your webs, your sudden, unsudden, wooden, leather, titanium, brimstone. What do you into?
I don't know if that's exactly what we're looking for. What was that other horrid hellspawn looking at?
Oh, just some of those.
They're so fragile. Like, come on. Like, it really is, like, if... This is what happens when you don't have enough perverts in your life. Like, you become vulnerable and weak to the slightest, like... Listen. Having perverts in your life is how you inoculate yourself against your shame being manipulated against you.
Cletus, he's clearly on his way to claim another innocent earthly soul in some sick barbaric fashion. We have to stop him!
Not yet. We have to wait for our moment.
You know, thanks for doing me this solid, Fizz. I gotta get the good shit for tonight, and I know you and Oz make the best toys in town.
I got you, buddy. We have some new prototypes that I think will get...
Was that control panel coming? Is that what... For fuck's sake. Oh my god.
I think we'll get the job done for a fancy gentleman like yourself.
Ooh. Is that a saddle? Wait, is that like supposed to be a model of Ozzy? Good lord, that really is impressive. Hey, a little body diversity in the mannequins. It's nice to see the show like take the opportunity to get proper horny about it. That's nice.
We have got these new beads. Ooh, they're made of real obsidian.
Oh, that's beautiful, but you know, Stolas never really seemed into the beads.
Alrighty, not into the beads, I get it. Fancier then. We have some stylish blindfolds. Our new collection has encrusted jewels.
Oh shit, those are nice.
And if you're feeling really frisky...
I see you wearing that day collar, by the way. They're still having so much fun with Fizz's animation.
They're nice.
And if you're feeling really frisky, we have the new dragon.
Yeah, that would be the name for that, wouldn't it?
Driller 5000.
This one's getting so demonetized. Like, so if they don't demonetize this one, I may have to report it myself.
Now with vibration.
Okay, you can't see my expression on my face when those came out, but
There we go. That's his speed. I will take that.
Blitz, I know he's a demon, but they are like that thing is wider than that skinny little ass boy's entire torso.
Heavens, what is this place? It's so heavily guarded.
Armory? War room?
Quiet! Don't you realize stealth is our greatest advantage here?
Oh, darling, look. Voyeurs. Positively adorable, darling.
Oh, look. Let's
Adorable, darling.
I think he's coming in. Oh, God, what's that?
The
He's gonna use that on an innocent person?
Well, not an innocent person.
We have to stop him now!
You're right. Okay, guys, it's time. Now's our moment. Remember everything that horny little fudge knuckle did to us, because now we make him pay. For the humans, for the heavens, and most of all for us. Let's go kick some ass! Let's fuck him up!
What? How did you know?
Find ya? We were already following our dumbass boss to make sure he doesn't fuck up and lose our meal ticket.
And you weren't exactly covert.
Oh, I like this. Oh, yes. Yes, fucking go! Let's rumble!
You got a lot of nerve coming to our neighborhood after the ass kicking you took last time.
A lot of nerve and a lot of upgrades, Mud.
Woo!
The boss! You're their boss!
Cletus can't make him do it.
Hey, wake up, asshole.
Oh, hang on. No. You don't get to just move that shot past me like that. The little handheld camera shake and then like the poof. Fully smoke ring anime ass. That is gorgeous. I like the inventiveness. Like I like environmental awareness, using the things like that's just kind of delicious. Like, because that's the thing, right? Like the cherubs are relying so much on their fucking equipment, and the imps, like by contrast, have like Daleks have a much greater capacity for like improvisation and like thinking on their feet. And, like, just in terms of, like, fight choreography, that's a good way to establish contrast between the characters.
Sorry, hun. You can play as me, but that don't mean you're anywhere close.
Ay.
Welcome to hell, bitch!
You just shoot the gun, Mox.
Wait, what?
Oh, Blitzy. Like, they're doing such a good job protecting him from all of this. Like, of course, because we have pre-established that violence makes the two of them unbearably horny. Oh, that's funny. The only thing that could make it better would be Family Guy death pose.
So, how'd it go?
I don't want to kink shame, But there is something wrong about it when you're literally wearing, like... If it was any other fursuit than one that was modeled on, like, an actual... Then, like... But it's a little gross when it's like, that's a person, man. Like, come on, you can't wear her as a costume.
Oh?
Anyway, jarring shift in tone, I think.
Heidi-ha-hoo-ha, Stolas.
Okay, how's this gonna go? How's this gonna go? Because, like, they're both going to be crashing directly into one another's momentum here. Like, really, really badly. Like, Blitz has spent the whole day building up to, like, I'm gonna do the thing that I can do to make him happy, right? I'm gonna do the thing that I can do to keep this relationship going, to keep him interested in me, right? I'm gonna, and I've convinced myself that it's all for the book, right? It's just for the book. Just, I don't have feelings. Like, everything's fine. I don't have feelings. Fuck you. Everything's cool. Everything's normal. Nothing's unstable. We're just gonna go fuck, and then everything will be back to normal, right? Like, we're just gonna go do the thing, and then we'll be fine. And then Stolas is over here like, I have to change everything. I have to give him the option to break it off with me forever if he wants to. It's not just we're sitting on the Titanic rearranging the deck chairs. It's that there's a second, larger Titanic coming down the other direction.
Guess what I got for us? I got lots of fun shit for us to play.
And, like, again, like, Blitz, could you for 1 second have the slightest awareness of body language? Like, like, pay... Which, again, it's a microcosm of the problem, right? That, like, Blitz just isn't really able to read Stolas' signals or hear his communication properly, right? Same with the text messages. He doesn't understand those as expressions of affection. He understands those as, like... expressions of like condescension or disdain or like Stolas play acting something for his own pleasure. Same thing. Stolas here is sitting with the body language of someone who is not about to have sex with you whatsoever. Like, that's not what the sex body language... Like, listen, not that I'm the world's greatest expert on like the delicate intricacies of every part of body language, but someone sitting on the bed hunched over with their legs crossed and like their hands folded on their knees, that is not the sex posture. That's not the I am excited to fuck position. that is we need to talk that he's sending here, and Blitz just is not seeing it at all because he has this, I have the plan, I'm going to execute the plan, everything's going to be fine if I can just do the plan, and then everything will be cool. Right. And that's where I kind of, again, like, a little clever thing, like the visual language of this thing, right? Like Blitz's plan, like his idea for what's going to happen down there, it's really big and unwieldy and not very practical, and it's way too much, but he's committed to it anyway, right?
Play with tonight, like this extra large candle that smells like horny. I got whatever this.
Is that that base is not flared enough, by the way. Is that a gnome butt plug?
Little guy is. But I'm sure there's someplace in your cloaca we can stick it. And look at this bad boy.
Now he sees it. Yeah, now he sees that there's something not quite right.
Do you have my book, Blitz?
Yeah, it's right here. I always bring it. Why do you...
I need it back. Permanently.
That's not the right way to start it, Stolas! No! That's not how you start that conversation! No, boy! Oh, no! Oh, that was the exact wrong set of words! Oh, no! It's like, oh... Why would you start with that? Like, please, for the love of God... again, this commitment to the dramatic bit, right? Like, Stolas has probably in his head worked out the whole speech, right? Like, the whole dramatic arc of how this conversation is going to go. So he's doing that instead of saying, there's something we need to talk about. Everything's all right, but, like you can start the conversation with something more reassuring than that. But he doesn't know that.
No, hold on, Stolas, come on. Is this because I've taken up skipping a few rounds with you in bed because I'm busy? That ain't fair. All right, I can still hold up my end of the bargain. All right, let me show you a good time tonight. You know I can.
Please, don't say it like that, Blitz.
Come on, bitch.
And Blitz, like, again, this is the only move he thinks he has, right? Blitz thinks this is the only value I can possibly provide to this man. It's the only thing he can possibly want from me. So Blitz also is choosing the exact wrong words in this moment. Again, he doesn't know. Like, he doesn't have any other tools to work with. But the only thing he thinks he has here is, I can sexually pleasure you. That's all I've got. So it doesn't occur to him to try and speak emotionally, right? To say, like, did I do something wrong? Is it okay? Like, it's like, I have to be pushy and sexual because that's the only thing that's ever worked before. Oh, no.
You know I don't disappoint. No. There's no need. I've made up my mind.
Again, maybe lead, but he can't, right? Because he has the dramatic arc of the thing all planned out, or whatever. But maybe lead with the gem, right? Like, that would have been the opening move.
Stolas, please, I need this book, please. I need this book, Stolas. I will do anything.
There we go.
Is an Asmodean crystal. It's registered in your name.
What?
Asmodeus has his demons legally travel to Earth for work all the time. I mean...
Right? See, now Stolas is like, I'm going to deliver my monologue, right?
Made the case for you to own one. You will be technically under his jurisdiction, but you will be able to go anywhere you want in the human realm without fear of consequence. Without breaking demon law. You no longer need my grimoire.
What?
You no longer have any obligation to see me, to touch me, to bed me. You are free of me.
I don't understand.
Yeah, he really doesn't, does he?
Why are you giving me this? Am I not, like, fucking you good enough? Because I can always do better.
Oh, for God's sake! Right? Blitz. And this is Stolas not hearing him, I think. Like, I think Stolas is about to not hear him at all. Because Stolas has also got his plan in his head, right? About, like, how this is supposed to go, how I'm gonna fix everything, right? So Blitz in that moment, right? That right there is, I don't understand why you're giving me this. Am I not fucking you good enough? Again, because his only conception of his value is his sexual prowess, right? So that's the only question he knows to ask, is like, am I not fucking you good enough? Is that why you're rejecting me right now? But because Stolas has the opposite impression, right? Like that the sex is like the least important thing. That's not at all the most important thing about Blitz to him at all. He understands that question from, like, oh no. Oh no. Oh no. And this is the deliciousness of tragedy, right? You can see all of the ways that it could have gone right. You can see so clearly, like a golden thread spooled out before you, exactly the sequence of events that it would have to have been just a little bit different, ever so slightly different, for everything to have worked out. But it can't, because that's not who these people are right now.
You good enough? Because I can always do.
The body language on Blitz is kind of heartbreaking here as well. Because, like, because it's not about the book at any point, right? The book doesn't actually matter to either of them at this point. That's the terrible thing, is like, neither of them actually care about the book at this point. right? Like Blitz has convinced himself, oh yeah, meal ticket. Yeah, sure, the book is the important part, of course, because I'm only here for the book. He's convinced himself that it matters, but it doesn't. He doesn't care about it. He was here tonight. He came here tonight genuinely, earnestly wanting to give Stolas what he wants, right? Like, he's like, I'm gonna make him happy. I'm gonna do the thing that makes him happy, the one thing I know that can make him happy, and I'm gonna put everything into it, all of my effort. I'm gonna dress up, I'm gonna get the toys, I'm gonna like anything he wants, however he wants it, for however long he wants it, we're gonna fucking do it. I'm gonna make him happy, right? Because then I'll be worthy of his love and affection, which is symbolized in which the book represents that to him, right? Like, the book represents the relationship between them. So when Stolas takes the book back from Blitz's perspective, that is Stolas taking away the relationship, taking away the connection, right? Which is exactly what Stolas was planning to do. He was planning to sever the connection because he thinks that the connection is the thing that's keeping them apart, ironically, right? Like, that the connection, that the obligation between them is what's preventing them from having a better relationship. And he's not wrong, right? Like Stolas' diagnosis isn't wrong. Having that thread of obligation is a barrier to their relationship progressing to the next level. It's a barrier to Blitz even being capable of conceiving that there might be another reason for them to see each other than the transactional, right? So Stolas isn't wrong that the book has to go. It's just, they're communicating at such cross purposes, right? Miscommunication tropes can be so annoying and so frustrating. They can be so difficult to tolerate because in most cases when they're implemented, it's a stupid miscommunication that, like, the characters would never have, like, you have the feeling that the characters would never miscommunicate like this because they repeatedly demonstrate better communication skills in other scenarios, right? That's something that happens over and over again in sitcoms, right? When you have a miscommunication plot, it's usually two characters who, for the purposes of having the miscommunication plot, actively get stupider for an episode, right? Like, they actively get dumber, they actively become more mistrustful of each other, just like randomly out of nowhere, just decide to be more insecure than they've been previously. What I think is handled quite well here is that, I at least, from my position, I completely get it. I completely understand how both of these dipshits could come to the conclusion that this is how that needs to be handled, and both be equally catastrophically wrong about it. And the fucking body language, right? The moment Stolas brings up the book, like, you can almost see the color drain from his face, right? Yeah, I have the book. Everything's fine. Everything's cool. Everything's the book's right here. I always have it, like, because it's fine. Because it's like. Why do you... The book, why is the book relevant? Why are you... And, like, the little thing of him walking from the light into the shadow as things get more ominous for him. I need it back. Right, I need it back. Blitz is perfectly happy to hand it over. Oh, you need it back, like, temporarily, right? Permanently. Yep! Can't do that, right? There's the concern for the business. Of course there is, right? But that's a panic response, right? Like, that's not just like, oh, that's inconvenient for my business. That's like, that's terror and pleading, right? And again, we return to the one thing we think we understand about the relationship, which is that I need to fuck him real good. And then, like, protest, and then pleading, right? No, I can still hold up my end of the bargain, right? I can still do what you want me to do. I can do all the things that you like. I can do anything for you. I'll because I have no value or worth. I will perform all of the services. I will use my body in whatever way you want. And Stolas is like, that's what I'm afraid of, right? Like, I'm afraid that I'm pressuring you into doing this. I'm afraid that I'm forcing you into a position that you don't like, that you're uncomfortable with. And it's so sad because, like, in this moment, Blitz was so ready to be happy with it, right? He was looking forward to it. He was excited for it because it is a nice part of his day. He does like spending time with Stolas, and he wanted it to be a nice night for him, right? Like, it's like he was feeling bad about not connecting with him more. And it's like, and Stolas isn't hearing that. What he's hearing is an imp desperately pleading for, like, a royal to take pity on him, right? Like, Stolas is hearing this, like, I am pushing this man, I am abusing him, I am taking advantage of him, and that's bad of me, and I need to stop. And again, the book does need to come out of the equation at some point, because love can't be quite that transactional, right?
Don't say it like that.
And you can see that he feels gross about it, right? Like, he feels, and it's not discussed with Blitz at all, right? Like, there's no animosity towards Blitz. He hates himself in this moment, right? Like, he hates himself for ever putting Blitz in that position that he thinks he's put him into, right? And all Blitz understands is like, oh, I haven't done a good enough job of seducing him yet. I haven't done a good enough job of getting him horned up. So I have to push it harder. And Stolas is so close to being like, well, maybe we can put it off just for tonight. Like, maybe it doesn't have to be right now. Because he wants it, right? Like, because it's not about, like, Blitz not being good enough. Stolas wants so badly to be with him. In bed, out of bed, at all times. It's so tempting. But no. I'm determined to do the right thing. Right? I have to do the right thing, because I've made up my mind that this is the right thing, and I'm going to ignore all evidence to the contrary. Poor boy. And, like, Blitz's body language, like, please don't, I need this book. And what he's saying there is like, again, I don't think Blitz understands this either. I need this book? No, what he's saying is I need you. Right? Right? Like, again, there's the legitimate fear for his business, but what he's saying is, I need this book, please. Like, that's not a guy who's like, oh, gosh darn it, a lucrative business opportunity is passing me by. I stand to lose something on my quarterly earnings. That's not what he's doing here. He's begging Stolas not to reject him, because that's what he sees is being done here, right? That's what he understands this to be, is a rejection for him not being good enough, right? I need this book. I need this relationship, right? I need it. But he can't express that. And that's the thing, like, again, if Blitz just even knew that he could possibly say, I need this relationship with you, right? I need to have you in my life. If he said that, if he just uttered those words out of his mouth, Stolas would melt. Stolas would explode. Like, that boy would go to heaven, which would be awkward. Right? Like, directly crashing through the celestial gates, exploding in fireworks. He would be so joyful, but Blitz doesn't know to say that, because he doesn't know that that's an argument that he can make. Oh, it's tragic. It's like, I need this book, I'll do anything. It's not about the book. And again, it's not that Stolas is doing the wrong thing here. Right? Like Stolas is trying to take the book out of the equation so that they can be free to be with each other or not, without, like, anything artificially tying them down. But the trouble is, Blitz is like, but wait, without something artificial, like, why would you be with me if there wasn't something artificial to tie us together, right? And he has the whole speech planned out, right? This is an Asmodean crystal. Look, I have solved the problem. It's registered in your name. Everything's taken care of. You don't have to worry about it. And I have like a little fucking slideshow in my magic PowerPoint to show you about how cool this is. And I've thought it through, and I've planned it all out, and everything's gonna be cool because I'm doing the right thing as a grand gesture. Just like you can see the crickets chirping inside his ears because he does not like what? Hang on, wait, what? Why? What's this? Is this what's happening? He doesn't understand what the gesture means, right? It's meant to be so romantic and so like generous and so like if you love something, let it go. But he doesn't come across because he doesn't know what it means. He doesn't understand the language that is being spoken.
Own one. You will be technically under his jurisdiction, but you will be able to go anywhere you want in the human realm without fear of consequence. Without breaking demon law. You no longer need my grimoire.
What?
You no longer need my grimoire? What? No, but I do need it because of, and again, Blitz doesn't, I don't think Blitz quite understands this, but he does need the relationship, right? Because the grimoire is not just the book, it's the connection between them, which Stolas is actively severing right now, right? Like, oh, these fools.
No longer have any obligation to see me, to touch me.
By the way, my cat is making a racket outside. Let me just... She wants cuddle time, and she won't shut up until I give it to her. Okay, yes, I know. Hi. Hi. Unfortunately, my microphone can't pick up the purring. It's designed not to. But she's going. Like the engine is it's rolling. Yes, hi, sweetie. I know. I've been disappearing into the office all Hi. Hi, baby. Were you missing me? Were you missing me? She's cuddling into my beard. Oh, sweet baby. Hi. Hi, my love. Okay. Yeah. Nope. Yeah, that... that's cat hair in my mouth. Hi. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna edit this out. You're just gonna have to deal... we're gonna take a break in the middle of the most dramatic scene of the episode here, because... You... are very demanding. You are very demanding. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. If I give you some treats, will you be okay with me being in my office for another few hours? Is it okay for me to be in here without you? Ah! Don't do that. No! She tried to lick my nose again. Hi. Yeah. Baby, no. You have a point with me. Oh my god, this fucking cat. Where are you now? Little baby. Oh my god. All right. Okay. Where were we? You don't understand. You don't understand. When she's in that mood, she climbs up and then she like clings to my left shoulder, right? And then if I try to like move her or put her down or do anything, she holds on tighter and like hugs my shoulder because she doesn't want to be put down. And do you have any idea how hard that is? Do you have any idea what I'm sacrificing for you right now to do this? I am braver than the troops. It's okay. It's fine. She gets like this about every minute, like every hour to 2 hours. She'll be outside my door like, and demand attention. And then I'll go out, I'll pet her a little bit. You know, then I can go back in my office. And so she's just being dramatic. She's a dramatic, attention-grabbing little like, meow, give me attention, meow. But I have a weak heart. I have such a weak heart. Anyway, back to the sad dad bird drama.
See me, to touch me, to bed me, you are free of me.
I don't understand. Why are you giving me this?
Right. You are free of me. Stolas expects you are free of me to be like a relief, right? For Blitz to go, oh, thank God. Okay, like this thing is, this has been on my mind. This has been stressing me out. But Blitz, all he understands is the severing of the connection, right? Why are you giving me this to send me away? Are you trying to pay me, like... And also, like, from Blitz's perspective, Stolas is trying to pay him off, right? Like, Stolas is doing charity for him here, right? Like, he's like, oh, okay, like, you're just gonna use your money and your wealth and your influence to get a fainted trinket to get rid of me? Like, at least have the honesty to say to my face that you don't want me anymore, right? From Blitz's perspective, which, like... it's one of those ways in which, like, you can be trying so hard to do the right thing, right?
Am I not, like, fucking you good enough? Because I can always do better.
Like, he's trying so hard to give it back, too, right? Like, he turns it around, like, am I not fucking you good enough? He's trying to give it back to him, right? Like, no, don't take that. Like, let's keep the book, please, let's keep the book. I want the... Am I not fucking you good enough? Like, I can always do better. Like, the pleading. Right? Like, baby, I swear. Like, give me one more chance, right? Like, because he's experiencing this as a breakup. Oh, God.
Always do better.
Blitz, I'm giving you this because I care very deeply for you. And I have for some time. But this transactional thing we have, it's not right anymore. It hasn't been. It never was. And now, all I can see is how wrong it is to be so tethered to someone in such an unfair way. And not know how they feel. But I want you to continue to be who you are. Your business. You don't have to stay here with me.
Stolas is trying so hard, but... You don't have to stay here with me? You can hear the heart break, right? And that's that thing, right, of like... the sense I get here is like, I care for you very, like Stolas finally says this thing in like plain language, and I have for some time. Wait, what? Like Blitz, like, you hang on, wait, no, hang on, go back a couple of steps. You what? What do you mean you no? Because what I understood that this was about the fucking. I didn't What? What do you mean you care for me? Like, what do you mean? What do you mean you care for me? Where the fuck is that coming from? Right? Like, for him, this is new information entirely.
But this transactional thing we
I do like the little gesture, like transactional, like the little, again, Stolas is the hand actor, right? Like so much of what he does is with his hands. So that little flappy back and forth, like the transactional thing, as he's trying to express the inexpressible.
Transactional thing we have, it's not right anymore. It hasn't been. It never was. And now, all I can see is how wrong it is to be so tethered to someone in such an unfair way.
The other thing here is Stolas is presuming to speak for Blitz, right? Like, that's part of the problem here is he has decided, well, this is wrong, it must be wrong, and therefore he must feel that this is wrong also. So he's trying to recognize Blitz's feelings ahead of time. But, like, but Blitz hasn't expressed that, Stolas. Is the thing. And again, he's not wrong, right? Like, we know that Blitz internally has this fear of being tied down, right? Of being a kept plaything. Of course he does. But Stolas is trying to speak for him and over him instead of, like, again, that thing about the conversation is like, maybe you open this instead of making declarations, right? Instead of simply dictating how the relationship is going to go, how things are going to be now, making these decisions about your relationship with him on your own, you could, and I'm throwing this is an advanced maneuver. I learned it from a 1,000-year-old monk in Tibet one time. It's complicated and it's difficult, but step one, you can talk to him and ask him what he wants. You can just ask him. You can ask him. Wait one time before you make the step of, like, offering the gem, taking away, you could ask him what he wants, what he feels, right? And again, from Stolas' perspective, I understand, because Stolas has been trying to ask Blitz how he feels for so long, right? That's the text messages, right? Stolas has been trying so hard to deepen their communication, right? Like to try and get Blitz to open up. Like, he's been liking all his posts, commenting on all his pictures. He's been sending him text messages that are like 5 miles long. From his perspective, he's been doing everything to try and get Blitz to tell him even once how he feels. And because Blitz doesn't understand that his feelings could possibly have any value to Stolas, he doesn't understand that that's what he's being asked, right? It's like, what are the possible things he could ask me? Well, my feelings aren't one of them, so I'm just going to assume that none of his questions could possibly be about that. And so whenever he sends me all this, like, I don't have a framework for interpreting that, so I'm just going to assume it's some kind of royal thing where they get off on cosplaying like they care about now. Like, right, we heard that with Fizz, right? Like Blitz has no framework for understanding any of Stolas' expressions of affection. It's like, oh my god. So, like, from Stolas' perspective, right, from his perspective, he has tried everything, right? From his perspective, all of the tools in his toolbox, everything he could possibly try to try and get some sense of what the fuck Blitz is feeling, everything has failed, right? So from his perspective, there's nothing else left, right? Like, he has reached the point of, like, well, what else do I have at this point but ultimatums? Like, what else do I have except I have to force the issue, right? And it's so tragic. Because it's not anyone's fault. Like, no one sat down and decided to be a villain today. Like, not that, like, Stolas is wrong. He's right, and he's wrong, right? His understanding of the situation isn't completely off base. His handling of it is bad, but, like, How would he know how to do it any other way? How would he know? What chance did this poor kid possibly have of having better things available to him than this, right? Raised in that kind of privilege. Like, Stolas doesn't have a social circle even. Like, he doesn't have any friends that he could run this plan by. Because all of the people in his social circle are like horrible bastards. The fucking Arskoisha. Like he couldn't talk to anyone and be like, hey, I'm thinking about, like, what am I supposed, like, I have all these feelings. There's no one more experienced. There's no one who knows the affairs of the heart better than him that he feels like he could turn to. I think he could probably have asked Asmodeus. But he wouldn't, like, oh, Asmodeus, well, no, I couldn't possibly ask him about that, right? Because Stolas has always had to handle everything all alone, all of his life forever. Right? It has always been only up to him to do the right thing, to do the responsible thing, to make the right call, like to do the thing that's best for everyone instead of what he wants, right? His whole life, that has been his modus operandi, the only thing he knows how to do. So, like, how was he supposed to know that this is the wrong way to handle it? My heart breaks for both of them. It really does.
And not know how they feel.
Right? And you get that here, right? Like, it's like, I don't know how you feel, right? I don't know how you feel. I don't know if you like me. I don't know if you want to be with me. Like, he doesn't know! Because Blitz won't give him anything. The only, like, we saw that in the fucking Aussies episode, right? When Aussie confronted the two of them about, ooh, are you two having an illicit affair? Blitz, like, reacted with a sense of shame about it, and the whole evening, like, Stolas had gotten dressed up, he was so excited, he was trying to engage Blitz in conversation, he was trying to hear from him, talk to him, get to know him, deepen the intimacy of the moment. Like, he was so focused on Blitz, he wanted nothing more than to know exactly how Blitz was feeling, and because Blitz did not have a comprehension that this was an option, was like, what Blitz thought he was doing was saying, okay, I'm gonna fuck you real good tonight. I promise to fuck you real good if you just, like, indulge me for a second, and I need to stalk my employees for a second, and then I'll give you the thing that you want transactionally. No problem. And so Stolas has spent the whole night feeling nothing but, like, stonewall rejection for all of his advances, becoming more and more increasingly embarrassed, and feeling more and more ashamed of the situation, so that finally when Ozzy confronts them, and says, oh, are you having an illicit affair with this imp? Stolas has nothing to give him courage. Nothing to give him confidence to say, yes, actually, I am in love with him, because every indication he has received is that, no, you have misinterpreted the situation, you stupid idiot, and you're embarrassing yourself. So he hides behind the menu. Blitz sees that and is like, yeah, he's embarrassed to be seen with me. And it's like, how was either of them supposed to know? These poor kids. Like, it really is the thing of, like, it's not that I'm so frustrated by the miscommunication, it's more like I just want to be either of their older brother to take them aside and be like, hey, listen, I, like, you two together, like, listen, come on, let me just talk you through some things here. Right? Again, I said this previously, I understand the fix-it fic. I understand it intimately. I understand the want, because that's a part of tragedy. It's a great way to engage with it. Write some fix-it fics about this conversation. I'm sure, what am I saying? There's 5,000 of those out there already, but, like, I encourage it. I think it's a good idea to write some fix-it fics. Like, what would any of them, think about the limitations they have, right? Like, there are so many things that they just don't have the tools to know or understand. How could they have managed it anyway, right? What's the wording that would have to change? What's the little thing that would have to change without them suddenly having a greater emotional awareness, without them all of a sudden having gone to therapy in between two episodes? What's the thing that would have had to change in order for this conversation to go better? Like, what's the tool that they have that might have saved it? That's the premise for a really good, interesting, cathartic fix-it fic. Is not just fixing it, but finding a way that they could have fixed it too. Like, that would be my call. Like If you can write one of those, you're gonna get a lot of kudos on AO3. I'm just saying.
How they feel. But...
Right? The revelation is like, I don't know how you feel, Blitz. And Blitz is like, wait, that matters? Hang on, my feelings are important to this situation? My feelings matter? I matter? Hang on, I'm unfamiliar with this concept of me being important in some way, or how I feel, or what I care about mattering. I need a moment to process this. And Stolas isn't giving him any room to process it, right? Like, Stolas has this speech written out. He just wants to finish this and do the right thing. So Stolas isn't leaving any room for Blitz to process or have time, like, to try and figure out what the fuck is happening, or even to fully express his confusion.
Be who you are. Your business. You don't have to stay here with me. But I want you to. I want you to stay here with me because you want to. Only if you want to.
Okay, all right, you're fucking...
Right? He doesn't know. He doesn't have... Right? It's like... And that's the tragedy, right? This is the iceberg. The Titanic, 1 degree to the left, right? 1 or 2 degrees to starboard. Just like a little more. And we don't hit it.
With me.
Because, again, as Blitz has demonstrated many, many times, right? We saw that with the hug with Fizz, right? They were hugging, Blitz was crying, they were having this genuine moment of emotional catharsis, and Blitz had to reach for the joke, right? Would it spoil the mood if we made out right now? Arr. He had to do it because he doesn't know how to sit with... He doesn't know how to sit with it, right? Like, he doesn't know how to sit with this discomfort. He has to diffuse the tension somehow. So he reaches for that tool in his toolbox.
Okay, all right, you're fucking with me. This is an interesting role play. Never done this one, but I can get into it. All right, how's this? Oh, Stolas, I'll stay with you. I love you so much.
Thank you, Blitz. 4.
And then what Stolas gets from that, right? What Stolas gets from that is like, oh, no. I will never want to stay with you, but I can roleplay wanting to stay with you. Right? I don't want to stay with you, but I'll pretend. I'm happy to pretend that I want to stay with you for your sexual pleasure. Which for him is like also like, oh, imagine what that feels like. Right? I want you to stay with me if you want to. Well, I can pretend to want to. Sure, why not? Like, yeah, sure. I'll engage in this little play back and forth with you. Sure, that's a funny, silly scenario that would never happen in real life. Me wanting to stay with you. Oh, I never heard that one before. But sure, I'll give it a crack. Imagine what that feels like when he's trying so hard. When he, like, really expressed his feelings openly and clearly. And Blitz can't hear him. Still can't hear him. Blitz still doesn't understand what he's saying. Oh, man. Tragic. Because, again, it's that... This scene requires more bravery and confidence from Blitz than he actually has, right? In order for Blitz to be able to handle this, he would have to be just a slightly more stable person. He would have to have just slightly more reason to believe that Stolas could possibly care about his feelings. But because Blitz doesn't know that that's... Like, again, we see this thing, like the same thing with the text message, right? Oh, he's liking and commenting on all my pictures, and he keeps reaching out and sending me texts. Okay, but that can't be because he cares about my feelings. It must be something else, right? So he can't be saying that he cares about me and wants me to stay with him because that's what he actually means. The only value I have is I can fuck him real good. So this must be about me fucking him real good. So I guess that's... this is the last straw I have to grasp at to preserve the relationship. I have to commit even harder to fucking him real good. Because it's the only move I've got. And if I can't do that, then I've got nothing. So I okay. Everything is about fucking him real good, so let's figure that one out. Let's give it a shot. Let's give it a go.
I'll stay with you. I love you so much.
Thank you, Blitz. For awakening me. For making me so happy. Even if only for a little while. I wish you the best with your business.
Wait, what? You were serious? Oh, hold on now, Stolas. What the fuck?
I have my answer, Blitz.
No, you don't, Stolas. No, you don't, because you haven't given him room to process yet. You haven't given him room to comprehend that it's even happening. Like, you called him over. You made a life-shattering declaration of you're gonna change everything unilaterally. And you're not giving him the time necessary to process that. Right? You're not giving him the time necessary for any of that to sink into his thick-ass demon skull. You're not giving him the time. But of course, Stolas doesn't know that that's something he might have been supposed to do. Because what he was just told is, I will never want to stay with you, but I'll roleplay it for you, right? Like, how heartbreaking is that? Of course he wants out of this conversation now. Of course he doesn't want to drag it out any longer. Because, clearly I have my answer. Like, what else is there to say? What else is there to talk about? Oh, good God.
You needn't say anything. I have wanted you for so long. The fact that you couldn't believe that I might have these feelings about you, that your first instinct is that it's always about sex.
Stolas, you were the one calling him and just doing non-stop improvisational dirty talk. Like, that's how you opened the relationship. Like, I'm sorry, but you established that pattern, and Blitz is following it. Like, I get it. You also thought that was the only thing you had, right? Like. But, you have come to this moment of emotional realization, and you haven't taken him with you. Because you can't. You tried. I fully acknowledge that you tried, but also, how else was he supposed to know?
That's enough to know what this is.
What? Fuck you, Stolas. You spring this feelings bullshit on me. Are you fucking kidding? Can I get a fucking minute to think after everything you put me through, you pompous, rich asshole? Treat me like one of your little butler imps? You can't just dismiss me like that. I mean, you royal fucks think you can do this every time. Like you can just play with our feelings because we're smaller and not as important. Well, I'm not letting you, bitch! Let's go!
Blitz, I think so very highly of you. I didn't realize you think so low of me. Goodbye, Blitz.
Stolas, wait!
What?
Right. Blitz is right. Can I get a fucking minute to think, right? So what Blitz is asking for here is more time, right? Like don't just fucking end it like this, right? Like let's keep the conversation going. I'm not willing or ready to let this end. Right? That's the feeling that's inside of him, right? Like he's angry, he's hurt, he's upset, understandably. And he's very, very angry. But the thing he's asking for, underneath it all, The thing he's asking for is, I don't want this relationship to end, right? You can't just make the relationship end. You can't just make me go away. I'm not gonna go away. I don't want to go away. Let's go, right? Like, because, like, no, we're not just gonna have declarations. We're not just gonna end the relationship because someone says so. I'm gonna fight for this relationship. But Stolas doesn't hear that. Right? Stolas hears himself being equated with his class, the worst people he knows in the entire universe. Right? Oh, he thinks I'm like Stella. He thinks I'm like my ex-wife. He thinks I'm like them. Right? How could he possibly love me? Right? Like, if that's how he thinks about me, like, if he equates me with those people, well then, like, love is impossible. Because I hate those people so desperately as well, right? So Blitz is saying, Blitz is not even rejecting him. Like, Blitz is expressing anger. And he's rejecting Stolas' declarations. But he's not actually rejecting the relationship. Like, you can't dismiss me. If we're gonna have a fight, let's have a fight, but, like, don't let it be over. Right? And again, from Stolas' perspective, right? Like, Blitz says, you spring this feelings bullshit on me. You think you can just play with my feelings. You think you can just make declarations. You think you can just treat me like a butler imp. You think you can just dismiss me. Who the fuck do you think you are? And again, from Stolas' perspective, he's been trying so fucking hard to be something other than that to Blitz. He's been expressing interest in his life, in what's going on with him, his emotional well-being. He's been trying so hard to express it. He's been trying so hard to get it through to Blitz. So from his perspective, again, he's learning that, like, Blitz has such a low opinion of what he is, where he comes from, his position, that Blitz just simply could not conceive of the possibility of love, right? Because how could anyone love someone like that, right? But that's not what it is. Like, Blitz is saying, how could a royal ever love anyone like me? What Stolas is hearing, how could I ever love anyone like a royal? And, like, that's like heartbreak number 14 in this conversation for him, right? Like, I really can't overstate enough how painful it must have been to hear Blitz be like, I can't actually love you, but I'll pretend for the sex, right? I'll pretend for the transaction. Like, he's not in a headspace to receive that, right? He's not in a headspace to parse what Blitz is actually saying right now. That Blitz is actually saying, no, I won't go away. I won't leave you. I won't let this relationship end. He's not in, like, no one would be. No person on Earth would be in a headspace where they would be able to, like, I don't know a single person who's well-balanced enough. I don't know a single person who has the emotional discipline, the stability, the presence of mind to first hear, I won't ever love you, but I'll roleplay it for the kink. And then after that hear, no, actually, I want this relationship to continue and I'm willing to fight for it. Those two statements don't coincide. Like, they don't merge. They don't mash together, right? Like, that doesn't make any fucking sense from Stolas' perspective. They're both reaching for the only frame of understanding that they have for the situation that they're going through, right? And the frame is not expansive enough to contain what's actually happening. Like, the frame of reference that they have to understand the emotional process that either of them is going through is too narrow. It's too constrained by their experiences, by their traumas. They can't hear each other. They can't. They want to. They're trying to, but they can't hear each other. That's the tragedy. They're shouting at each other from opposite sides of a mirror.
I think so very highly of you. I didn't realize you think so low of me. Goodbye, Blitz.
Stolas, wait!
What the...
Fuck!
And again, just to layer that extra little grating of Parmesan tragedy cheese on top of the trauma iceberg, just this little soissons, just a little fuck you to part with. Remember, like, Blitz doesn't quite understand that Stolas can be vulnerable, right? Blitz doesn't actually understand that Stolas can be hurt. Until, wait, hospital? Stolas hurt? Pain? Like, hang on, wait, what? I didn't know that was possible. Wait, Stolas can be hurt? Wait, Stolas is vulnerable? I can hurt him? I have the ability, the capacity, the power to cause him any kind of emotional damage? That's the thing that finally shifts something in him, right? Wait, hang on, wait. Remember the imagery from the music video of, like, two hands clasped together being torn apart? That's another component, right? That's part of why Blitz went for the, oh, roleplay, okay. That's part of why he went for it, because again, he hasn't quite internalized. He doesn't quite understand that he can actually hurt Stolas, right? That Stolas would invest enough emotional weight into him to be vulnerable to harm from him. I can make him sad. I can make him cry. He's vulnerable to damage from me? Wait, hang on. This is new information. Give me a second to process this. Give me a second to try and figure out what to do about that, and... No. He doesn't get to have any more seconds, because he has hurt Stolas too much already. And, like, Stolas doesn't have any more HP left. Like, that... His health bar is drained. He can't take anymore, right? He doesn't, again, it's that thing of, like, it's so understandable that Stolas doesn't have the capacity to give Blitz more space to breathe here. Because he entered this boss encounter with, like, a 10th of a health bar and no Estus. Like, he was clinging on for dear life in that thing. 2 hits, he's down, right? Of course, after hearing that, he doesn't have the capacity to let Blitz explain himself or say anything more. Of course he doesn't. I wish he would, but of course he doesn't. Like, again, I don't know a single person in the world who could get into a situation that volatile, that fraught emotionally, and handle it right. Let alone perfect. Like, even a little, like, even well. Like, maybe one person. I have one person that I think maybe could possibly have navigated this. But she would have slapped someone at some point. Like, there... Maybe. It's... Oh, Jesus Christ. Fuck you. Fuck you, TV, like, cartoon show. This show used to be about wholesome, happy family entertainment, like dicks in the wall and confetti cum shots. Whatever happened to the show? We used to have a proper Helluva Boss. The series really went downhill this episode. This is the one. This is the worst episode. This is the one where it gets bad. I don't think I'll watch any more of it. I think I'm done. You know what? I don't think it's worth watching any more episodes after this. It's like, yeah, like they dropped the ball, jumped the shark. Thank you all very much for watching. I think I'm going to start reacting to South Park next. That seems like more...
What the...
Fuck!
Silent credits, of course. So this episode, structurally speaking, reminds me most actually of Unhappy Campers. Structurally, not in terms of content, but structurally, in the sense that, like, Unhappy Campers had the A and B plot, right? And the A plot and B plot were not really related. They didn't really have anything to do with each other, right? Like, it's Moxie and Millie going to the camp, having a little bit of a marriage spat because Moxie doesn't know how to quite handle his feelings. Like, he doesn't quite understand his own motivations, and he takes it out on her, which is very unfair. He realizes, like, that's the A plot, right? B plot is Blitz sniffing around looking for clues for his sister, right? And they do the classic script thing of, like, bringing it together at the end. It's like, oh, hey, it all converges at the same location. Like, it's perfectly solid sort of serialized cartoon script writing. Like, when we want to tell two stories, they don't really have anything to do with each other. We're contriving a reason for these two things to weave together, right? Kind of the same thing happening here, and kind of the same criticism that I would level at that, right? Like, that the Cherubs and the Dorks don't really matter at all to anything that this episode is actually about, right? Like, they're not really relevant to any of what the actual draw and the actual importance of the episode is, right? Like, if you took them out of the episode completely, nothing about the actual main plot would change, right? Like, nothing they do is relevant or important to the main action and the main, like, climax and the emotional arc of the episode whatsoever. They're kind of just there to pad for time, right? And that's fine. Like, that's not really a problem to me, at least, but it is a thing of, like, oh, okay, like, that is a thing where you could say, okay, but maybe instead of that, you could spend a lot more time sort of building out the A plot and, like, really sort of... But, like, I don't think the A plot needed anymore. Like, I think the groundwork for the A plot here was laid in the previous episodes, right? Not that I wouldn't have appreciated more. Like, not that I wouldn't have appreciated, like, more opportunities to have some stories between Blitz and Stolas to sort of set up for this moment. But, like, yeah, it did a fine enough job, and, like, that just left a bunch of room that needed to be filled by something. So I guess the Dorks have an army of murder priests now, and mech suits, and a fursuit. I guess, and, like, the Cherubs are back, kind of, like, they're determined to act as a threat to the main cast. Again, we got a cool fight scene. I will say the fight scenes were fucking cool. Like, stuff that's not really necessary, that doesn't really relate to the A plot, but which is just candy, right? It's just candy. It's just like, let's fucking have some fun, right? Let's just throw a bunch of fireworks at the thing, allow the cast to have a refight with some previous mini bosses, and, like, the little connection that there is that, oh, hey, look at the other members of Imp running cover for their boss, right? Like taking an interest in his love life, right? Like, sort of like, yeah, sure, he's about to go get a meal, but, like, my sense is underneath that, there's also a little bit of, like, you're not going to fuck up his date night, right? He's about to have date night. He seems really excited about it. You guys aren't going to fuck that up for him, right? So there's that little, like, oh, found family. Like, yeah, they express it in, like, really sort of edgelordy ways, but it's like, it's like a little expression of care that I like. Oh, right, it's Vivian Medrano who's Keeney. I completely forgot about that. My genuine compliment is this conversation didn't feel too short. It did not feel by the conclusion of the episode like there wasn't time enough to get to the emotional meat of the matter. And the fact that their conversation was rushed and got cut off before they could really get deeply into it is like, no, yeah, that makes sense. Like, yeah, of course it did. Like, of course it did. And it really is, like, I think the HP metaphor I sort of stumbled on is actually applicable because, like, Stolas is entering this at the end of his rope, right? He's entering it at, like I said, quarter health, no Estus flasks, no nothing. This is his last-ditch effort. Like, this is the last bit of strength that he has left in him to deal with any of this. Blitz is coming in at full health, right? Blitz is coming in full health. He has, like, 15 Estus, all of the buffs. He has everything. All of the power. He's ready to go. He's ready to go all night. He's ready to go for hours. Like, let's fucking do it. And so by the end of it, like, Blitz is like, no, this conversation can't end here. I've still got plenty of energy left. Let's go, bitch. Like, let's fucking hash this shit out. And Stolas is just like, zero health. You died. Text comes up. Blitz goes, like, Stolas goes back to respawn. And now Blitz has to wait, like, for Stolas to come and retry the boss fight, right? It really is that thing of, like, they were just not entering at the same level at all. Those poor little idiots. Good job on the music. It was very emotionally effective. And I did like when I see him. It was such a very has-been hotel, frankly. Such a classical show tune. Like, such a fucking show tune. Like, so much, like, this is some Broadway shit right there. Like, the fucking interplay of characters speaking at cross purposes, finishing each other's sentences, like, fully on some Broadway shit. I appreciate that. How you doing, chat? I can see you now. You seem to be doing well. You seem to be happy. Stolas is out of antidepressants too. That's the other thing, right? Stolas is coming in at no HP with no Estus. He doesn't have any antidepressants left. Right? Like, so... how was he supposed to have the fortitude to handle that, right? Yeah, poor baby 30-year-old boys. Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like, that's the thing. They're both in arrested development. Right? Like, both of them are in a state of arrested development. Both of them are traumatized to the point, like, they haven't progressed to the point where they can be emotionally mature enough to have these conversations, like in properly with one another. Which is the thing, right? It's the thing, right? Like, it's not that either of them are the monster or the villain here. Right? It just isn't that simple. The portraits in the hallway during the end conversation have his faces. Oh, you mean that's... Ah, right, I see. I mean, yeah, my assumption is that that's not so much him covering up himself as he's trying to cover up Stella. But like, yeah, no, absolutely. Like, I can see that as like, oh no, he's covering up himself as well. It's more a thing of like, the only thing that Stolas has left from his marriage, the only thing that's left in his life is his daughter, right? He can't blot her out, but he's trying to escape everything that's associated with his marriage. Like, and he's very much running away from himself as well, right? Like, that's part of what Stolas is doing here. He's doing an act of sort of penitent self-denial, right? Like, again, in his mind, he's making a noble sacrifice here, right? Because the only thing in the world he fucking wants is Blitz. Right? The only thing he wants is Blitz. The only thing he wants is to be with Blitz. It's the only thing that he wants for himself selfishly. It's the only thing. And he thinks that that's evil, right? Like, he thinks that he needs to give that up. Because it's irresponsible of him to want things for himself for selfish reasons. Right, and that's again, Stolas has that... He has that romantic protagonist thing going on, right? So, like, this is him running away from himself as well, right? Like, he thinks that some part of his desires, some part of what he wants, is wrong. So, like, it's... Yeah, like people are saying, like, it is sort of... It's an expression of self-hate also. Like, he does seem to be dealing with an absolute surfeit of shame. Like, so much shame about himself and his wants. And the way that he has pursued them. Which is like, again, he hasn't pursued them in the best way. Like, that's like Stolas being like, your first instinct is that this is always sex, and like, I shall understand this as an indication of what our relationship is truly like. And Blitz, again, for him, this is such new information. Because, like, wait, hang on, you're the one who made it about sex. What do you mean I'm the one who makes it about sex? I thought sex was the only thing you wanted. I thought that was the only thing you wanted me to give you. But that's because Blitz hasn't been listening to Stolas. Like, the reason Blitz thinks that is because he hasn't understood all of the 500 million times that Stolas has tried to communicate that he wanted something else, right? That he tried to tell him, I am interested in your life beyond, like, the size of your penis, right? So this is new information to Blitz. He thought this whole time, he thought he was doing exactly what Stolas wanted. He thought he was doing what he was being asked to, what he was supposed to do. And now Stolas drops on him, like, no, actually, you've been doing the wrong thing the wrong way the whole time. What a fucking thing to be told. Like, what a mortifying thing to be told. Like, what a humiliating thing to be told, also. Right? In much the same way that Stolas saying, I care for you, I want you to stay with me, you don't have to, I just want you to want me, please look my way. And Blitz going, okay, I get it, yes, you, like, look your way. Yeah, sure, okay, we're playing a game here, right, okay, I'll pretend to look your way, sure. I'll give that a go, what a silly idea. Ugh, painful. Painful. We were also happy you noticed how he treats the butler imp so early, because Blitz mentioned it here as a bullet. Yeah, like, and again, like Stolas, like Stolas doesn't notice that he's mistreating the butler imp at all, right? He doesn't realize that his behavior could have those negative consequences, could hurt someone in that way, right? He doesn't know. He doesn't get it. Ah, man. Did you notice Stolas flinched when Blitz screamed bitch at him in a rage, possibly remembering how Stola yelled at him? Yeah! That's the other thing, right? Like, being yelled at, being shouted at, being berated. Like, again, what's that connected with for Stolas? Well, that's Stella, right? Again, Stella. So, like, of course he's not... of course he's not ready to receive that. Like... It really is this thing of, like... Right, like, the bedroom is normal, right? Like, the bedroom is the space that it's always been. But then as we start to walk through the halls, right? And you needn't say anything. Stolas thinks he's sparing him. Everything starts to be covered up. Like, everything starts to be covered with these dust covers. It starts to be put away. It starts to be wrapped up, right? Which, like, that's part of the divorce, right? Like, it's like he's wrapping up whatever the fuck his old life meant to this house, diegetically. But, like, this is also repression. Right? Stolas is covering everything up. Like, he's winding everything down. He's closing the book. Right? Putting everything in a magazine, putting his feelings away, putting everything away. Because this is over now, right? And this scene also, like, Stolas is trying so hard to walk away from it because he thinks that's what he's supposed to do, right? He's trying to walk away from it. Like, he's trying to let it be over. He thinks he's doing Blitz a favor. You needn't say anything. He thinks he's doing him a mercy. And that's that imperious attitude, right? Like, that's him making decisions about their relationship without Blitz's input, right? Which, like... That's where Blitz's diagnosis is right? Like, that's... Hang on. You can't just decide to do these things. You can't just make decisions about what our relationship is, right? You can't just do that. You can't just flaunt your power in that way. And that triggers a bunch of shit in Blitz also, right? Like, Blitz is used to this treatment from the higher classes. Like, and you can even see that in the framing here, right? Blitz, tiny, powerless, Stolas, occupying the frame, towering over it, taking up space. Like, as he makes the declarations, right? And just, like, Blitz, nothing but confusion, right? It's like, hang on, he does not comprehend what's happening. He doesn't understand what's going on. What do you mean you were serious? That's not a possibility. Nice little 3D door there, by the way. That's a place you can usually, when you look for, like, 3D and anime and stuff, doors opening and closing, very normal place to use it, because those are fucking infuriating to have to hand animate. That's the other thing, right? Like when Stolas finally cries, when he finally, like, that undeniable expression of true feeling of vulnerability, Blitz seems to realize it. But up until then, look at Stolas, right? Like, look at the body language that he's trying to put on, the affect that he's trying to have is one of benevolent generosity, right? This is my grand gesture to you, right? Rather than, Blitz, I'm scared, I'm hurt, I'm vulnerable, I'm confused, I don't know what to do with our relationship. Stolas is like, well, I have to be the protagonist of this romance, so, right, I have to play my part. Because again, that's the behavior he has learned from the Ars Goetia, right? Like that he has to put his own feelings away all the time and not really express them, right? He's trying. He's saying, like, Blitz, you matter to me so very much. But, like, if you would just shed a single fucking tear, right? If you would just say please, instead of this, right? Like this, oh, well, you see, There's, well, yes, you see, I shall give you the explanation of why my behavior is, like, completely rational and smart and good. With this PowerPoint I assembled earlier. Right, look, I'm smiling. Like, yes, look, I'm being generous. I'm being a good ruler. That's the affect, benevolent king, right? Because Stolas still treats the relationship ultimately as one of, like, ruler and subject, in a sense, right? Not in the sense of, like, he doesn't want to control Blitz. He doesn't want to dominate him. He doesn't want to dictate Blitz's life. It's just he doesn't have any other toolbox, right? He doesn't know anything else. He doesn't have anything else to work with here. So he's falling back on the only thing he knows, the only thing he's got, which is, well, like, I have to be the one to force the issue. I have to be the one to resolve the situation by using my power, by using my influence, by acquiring whatever expensive trinket, right? By drawing on my network of rich friends. I have to resolve the situation, which, like, maybe to resolve the situation, instead of all of that, you have to lower yourself to Blitz's level, right? Like, you have to, instead of operating constantly on the higher echelons of society, humble yourself. Be vulnerable with him. Which, again, Stolas thinks he's doing that. He thinks he's doing that. He's so convinced he's doing that. But he isn't. Because he doesn't know what that looks like. Like, he doesn't know what it looks like to be humble on, like, a human, like, I know they're not human, on the level of a person with him, right? It's not that he wouldn't do it if he knew to do it, it's that he doesn't know to do it, right? And, like, this is pleading too, right? You no longer have an obligation to see me, to touch me, to bed me. You're free, right? Like, please, Blitz, understand this. Right? Like, please understand what I'm trying to do here. Please hear me. Like, please. Please get it, right? Right? I'm giving you this because I care. Whether you want it or not. Like, do you want it? That doesn't really matter if you want it. I'm giving it to you because I care. I have decided that this is going to be given to you. And you don't really have the option to reject it, actually. Just there we go. Boop. You have been given it now. I have given you my grand gesture. Right? Never asking if, like, Stolas trying that Mr. Darcy angle and it went just, yep. It, like, very much Pride and Prejudice is in here. Like, as a foundational text in the romance genre is very much in here, right? It's like, he wants so badly to do the right thing that he is determined that I'm gonna do the right thing no matter what it may cost me. No matter what, I'm gonna do the right thing. Right? Up to and including completely ignoring whether or not, like, ignoring what the other person wants. Because he doesn't know what Blitz wants. He doesn't know! He's been trying to find out. He has no idea. He hasn't had a chance to know. Right? Because none of the tools that he has for getting closer to someone works with this dipshit. None of his attempts at communication, of getting closer, it doesn't work on Blitz, right? Blitz doesn't get it. Blitz doesn't comprehend. He doesn't understand. There isn't a bad guy here. There's just two people handling themselves very badly. Like fucking Blitz with like the little trying so hard to restore normalcy, right? Okay, this is weird. Let's get back to normal, which is I am a fuck doll, and my purpose is to make daddy come, right? Like, let's get back to normal. The little fucking pulling out the suspenders, giving him a wink, right? Like, I see what you're doing here, pretty boy. Skibbity-bop-de-doo. Let's 20 skidoo back to the normalcy. I really can't get over, for someone as romantic and dramatic as Stolas, right? To see Blitz walk away, essentially, like, the gift is attached to his hand, and it's that throw the box away like it's nothing. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, it's not even a thing that means anything to him. And go, I'll pretend to love you. I shall put on the best performance of pretending to love you that you've ever seen. God, that must hurt. Like, Jesus. That is like a 486 hit combo right to the heart. Right, and of course Blitz is angry. Like, this must... The intensity of frustration. The intensity of confusion. That all of this is just happening. Right? All of this is just happening all of a sudden. And nothing that he doesn't have any tools to try and control any of this. To try and gain any agency over the situation whatsoever. Right? From his perspective, this is all just exploding out of nowhere. From Stolas' perspective, this has been building up for months. And from Blitz's perspective, this is like a sniper bolt to the back of the head out of nowhere, right? These poor kids. I really do like this cut. Like, getting the close-up there to really see the tears. that it's not just anger, but it's also pain and hurt. Like, this is a really good rant, right? Stolas walks through the doors sadly, right? Like, pushes them open and says, oh, no, I must leave them behind. Like, Stolas just wants to pass through things quietly, right? He just wants to pass through this quietly and leave it. And then Blitz... I don't want to pass through this quietly. I'm going to fight about it, right? Square him up! Put him up, pal! We're gonna fist bump about this! Right? And again, because for Blitz, how does he resolve conflict, ever? What is the only... Like, how has he ever resolved conflict? Well, violence and anger, right? Whereas for Blitz, he has spent most of his entire fucking life trying to desperately to not be the target of violence and anger from his fucking wife. So it's this deeply earnest expression, right? I don't want this to end. I don't want this to be over so suddenly. I want to talk. I want to understand what's happening, right? I want to get it, please, right? Wait, please. But none of that reaches Stolas' ears. None of it does. Because all I suspect he's hearing at this moment is Stella screaming how worthless he is, right? Right, so like all of Blitz's body language is towards Stolas, right? All of it is towards Stolas. Like, approaching him, getting closer to him, trying to, like, chase him down, catch him. And Stolas doesn't even have the capacity to look back, right? Which, again, like, from Blitz's perspective, he can't even look me in the eyes when he rejects me, right? Blitz wants to get closer, Stolas wants to get away. Like, what a horrible way to have a fight. Also, the little... Like, this bit especially of the emoting. Just ejecting all of this wrath and feeling like even Blitz's head is like an arrow pointing forward, right? He's directing all of that energy forwards. And like these little twists, right? Because not like we have this shot in perfect profile, right? Like right from the fucking side. Like where Blitz is moving forwards, like from left to right, not in frame, but like moving left to right in the scene, right? So this could be very flat, right? Like this could be very nothing. The visual effects, like the FX, like the lighting people are working overtime to give Blitz's head and his motions and like his behavior volume, but the animator has to do something too. So you get these little rotations of the head, these little micro rotations along the... Would that be the Y-axis? Left to right? Yeah, I guess. Right? We see like the horns occlude and unocclude one another. so that like we get to this point of like the build up of all the anger, and then the explosion. We swap from like viewing Blitz's head from like the top down, seeing like his face crest, to seeing it like from the bottom up, right? Like we see like the back of his head and the neck, and that explosion gains more power because that rotation is incorporated in it, right? Like, so it's not just that Blitz is ranting and raving and shouting, he's also shaking his head around like he's trying to do something with all this anger, this it's the x-axis because they're now x's. Ha! He's trying to do something with all this energy inside of him, right? And again, the contrast in body language is Stolas is so reserved. He's so, like, dour, so downplayed, so there's so little acting or expression from him happening at all. And Blitz is having all of the acting and the expression, just like maximum hyperacting at all times, doing all of the gesturing, doing all of the everything he possibly can, and Stolas is like placid as a tree almost, right? Like doing the minimal movement for anything, because he has nothing left, right? He has no energy left. He has no exuberance left. He has no anything left to go with. And like Blitz doesn't have another way to resolve this except to throw himself at him, right? Like we need to throw ourselves at each other. We need to fight this out until something resolves, right? Let's go. And, like, there's nothing to go with, right? There's nothing to go with. Like, there's nothing to... What a well-done scene. Just the energy that he starts with, right? Like... Howdy ho, Stolas! Hey, look at me! I'm cool and fancy and sexy. I have all of the sex toys! Oh my god, I have so many! It's just like all of the good stuff that you... I have this great, wonderful plan for how this is gonna be the best night ever! This plan is not unwieldy. This plan is not unworkable or impractical at all! Right? All of the energy, all of the passion, all of the everything, right? And Stolas nothing. Go crazy, white boy, give us nothing. Like nothing. Because he barely has anything left. Face alert. Oh, what a wonderful train wreck. What a magnificent disaster. What a beautiful, beautiful fucking dumpster fire. Oh, dear. Anyway, comedy hijinks, murder priests, mech suits, predator drones, goon-ass motherfucking incompetent dipshit assholes who don't know shit about fuck and who keep tentacle monsters in pods. Way! And the most annoying voice actors in the show next to the, well, you know who. God, I hate Cletus's voice. Like, not in the sense of like any disparagement to the voice actor. He's clearly meant to be annoying. He's clearly meant to be intolerable. intolerably miserable to deal with and listen to. But still. Yay, child murder! Hooray! Fun times! Ha ha ha! Tone. And again, like I said, I don't think it doesn't work, right? I don't think it doesn't work. I think it does work. Right? The A-plot doesn't need that much space. It really doesn't. What it needs is, like, Blitz is trying his hardest to do what he thinks is the right thing to do, right? Like, to do right by Stolas. To make him happy with whatever, like, by whatever means he's got available to him. That's the thing the A-plot needs to do at this point, right? So, fuck it. Let's just have fun with the B-plot. Let's just do some silly shit. Ahigawa keypad is an image that's gonna stay with me for a bit. What a fucking thing to... There's something so obscenely horny about that, but also very sweet and romantic.
I got you, buddy. We have some new prototypes that I think will get the job done for a fancy gentleman like yourself.
There's variety. Oh, that's a body pillow. I didn't catch that the first time. Shaped like a hand. Nice. It has the feathers. Like, that would be... Kitty cat sock. Is that... What's that from? That from something? I feel like I recognize it from somewhere.
We have got these new beads.
Wait, those are kind of snazzy.
These new beads. Ooh, they're made of real
Again,
obsidian.
like, the props to the background artists, right? Like, a lot of effort clearly went into this.
I get it. Fancier then. We have some stylish blindfolds. Our new collection has encrusted jewelry.
Hang on. Fizz and Aussie pillows next to each other. Oh. You missed Among Us sex gear? What? Where? What, that thing? Oh, yeah, I see it. I see it. Mogus.
What? How did you know?
Find ya? We were already following our dumbass boss to make sure he doesn't fuck up and lose our meal ticket.
Yeah, no, that's not why you were doing that.
And you weren't exactly covert.
You got a lot of nerve coming to our neighborhood after the ass kicking you took last time.
A lot of nerve and a lot of upgrades, much.
That's a lovely little, like, the fucking Popeye wind up there. Like, yoink, kadoosh. Yeah, I don't know, Millie, maybe cutting the missile in half weren't, like, the smartest move you ever did.
The boss! Get there, boss!
No, you don't, bitch!
Hey, wake up, asshole.
Right, like, the A-plot and the B-plot are so disconnected that, like, it just doesn't take place in the same reality even for Blitz. Again, like the fucking effects animation. Look at this. Like a series of little mini explosions kicking up shrapnel. Like, following that again, the storyboarder is, like, fucking putting in work here. Tracing that across.
You can play as me, but that don't mean you're anywhere close.
Youch. Just pull the trigger, Mox. Just pull the trigger. Pull the trigger.
Welcome to hell, bitch!
Wait, what?
Millie still has that thing, right? Face alert. Never pull out. If you have a knife stuck in you, any kind of bladed anything, don't pull it out. Do not do that. Go to the emergency room. Let them never pull it out. Ever. Do not do that. Just... That's what she said. Yes, I set myself up for that one. Fair enough. You got me. 10 points to you. 10 points to you. Coyote time, right? Like, cuts the arm, just floats in the air, just kind of sticks around. Just kind of hanging out, having a good time. Just ignoring gravity. It doesn't exist because, like, we don't need it right now. If Millie makes that face at you, you're fucked. That's the you're fucked face. That's not a good face for her to be making. But, like, the thing I wanted to get to, she still does the thing, right? Like, the twirling and snaking her way around an enemy as part of her fighting style. Why, God? Because you're a piece of shit, that's why. Luna's move here is interesting. Like, she shifts into human form, to present a smaller target. That's quite clever. So she can hide better behind the cover. I thought what they were setting up for here is that Luna was gonna like show up in human form, and he was gonna be like, "Oh my god, I've been hurting a human!" But you know, also just drop a guy on him. Like the little shift of like, oh wait, hang on. We're all clinging together. This is such a Warner Brothers move, too. Like the body coming down first and then following. And like, hey, what's the simple solution to this problem? Take down a whole building. Why not? It's hell, who cares? Also, blowout sale, I don't want them anymore. Mammon clearly getting a little bit tired of his fizzbots there, huh? Again, separate realities. Like, no relation to one another whatsoever. That is still a killer gag. That is still genuinely very funny. Like, yeah, no, like, not gonna wait even a quarter of a second, just instantly jumping each other's bones.
So, had it.
Again, like, I genuinely not kink shaming, just you can't do it in the Luna fursuit. Like, out of universe, fine. Like, out here, real world, anyone who wants to, like, do puppy play in a Luna fursuit, you are all valid. That is a completely okay thing to do. In universe, though. In universe, that's gross. In universe, that's not okay.
Go.
Right? Like, B-plot resolved. It will never matter again. Just like, how'd it go? The separate reality. I really do like Cletus's animation, though. Like, it has a bit of that, like, mega church preacher theatricality to it, right? Strike them down with fiery vengeance! Right? Like, not just fiery vengeance, but fiery vengeance! Like he's giving a sermon, right, at a church. Like he's sort of copying the affect of a preacher. And again, Luna's right here. Like I said before, how long have we been going? Oh, 2.5 hours. Sure. Yeah, sure. That makes sense. Like, Luna's right here, right? Like, it is a red flag that Stolas has been giving Blitz excuses not to see him, right? It's that thing about the miscommunication, right? Like, Stolas thinks he's doing so right. Stolas thinks, like, I shall sacrifice the thing I want, which is more time with Blitz, and then, like, that will give him an opportunity to demonstrate that he wants to see me. Right? Because again, Stolas is doing love testing, right? Which, like, is not a thing you should do to your partner, by the way, ever. Don't do that. It's a bad thing. But he's doing love testing. He's, like, giving Blitz opportunities to show he cares, he thinks. And it's like, yeah, no, but that he needs to know that that's what you're doing. And he doesn't know that that's what you're doing because you can't know what that's what you're doing. I think it's also him realizing the sex is wrong, so he can't go through the sex anymore. But that's the thing, is like, it's transactional. It's not immoral, right? Like, it's not what he wants. He doesn't want a transactional sexual relationship with Blitz, right? He doesn't want that. But it's like, Blitz consents to this, right? Like, and he has plenty of opportunities to withdraw his consent. It's like, I really don't think, like Stolas is worried that he's using his power and position to pressure Blitz into something he doesn't want to do, right? But Blitz is like, oh, I do want to do that because I can provide Stolas. I'm not saying it's healthy, right? Like, I'm not saying it's healthy. I'm not saying it's good for either of them, necessarily. But, like, this is a consensual sexual relationship between adults, right? It's not... Please, for the love of fuck, nobody start trying to bring up grooming in this context. Please, for the love of God, don't do that. Because that's not what it is. That's not how that works. Like... Stolas is not grooming Blitz. Blitz did not groom Stolas. It's a bad dynamic. It's not healthy for either of them. Like, it's an untenable, unsustainable situation. They're both causing damage to one another. It's not grooming, and it's not rape. It isn't either of those things. This is a consensual sexual relationships between adults that happens to be unhealthy. Those exist sometimes. Sometimes it's a bad idea for two consenting adults to have consensual sex with one another for reasons that have nothing to do with sexual assault and grooming. Occasionally, that has been known to happen. So please do not bring that up, right? I'm not saying that there's not an unhealthy power dynamic here. Stolas is actively trying to resolve it because he feels the pressure of it. But we have to have some breathing space between a power dynamic that isn't great and, like, rape. There has to be a space between these two things. Like, like, there has to be a tiny spectrum before we cross that boundary. Right? Like Please don't do that. Please don't bring that up here. Because, like, it's one of the things about, like, there's many reasons why the term grooming is being, like, just violently misused these days. Mostly to target queer people, right? It's also, it's a word that it is important maintains a clear distinction so that people can identify when it is happening. Two consenting adults having a fucked up power dynamic is not grooming. Right? As someone says in chat, a relationship can be unhealthy without being abusive. Right? It can be real shitty, it can be damaging without someone being an abuser. Right? Like, it can be more nuanced than that. Sometimes. Occasionally. Right? A power dynamic can be fucked up for other reasons. So, speaking of fucked up power dynamics, by the way, I do feel for that kid. Hey, get it, kid? Because of, well, he's a lamb, not a goat. But hey, fuck it, my joke still works. Because, like, clearly he doesn't want to do any of this. But he's being abused into it, right? He's being abused into, like, this is the only option. You have nowhere else to go. You have nowhere else to turn to. You have no other options. It's this or be alone and die, right? That's a fucked up power dynamic. That's abusive. Right? Like, Stolas and Blitz isn't. Like, that's two people trying to do right by each other and failing. Failing badly, right? Like, really fucking it up real nasty with one another. Oh my god. terrible. But it's not abuse. That's not what that is. Conflict is not abuse. That's a good book also, by the way, that's worth reading. Right? See him tonight? All right, all right. It's been a while since he's begged for attention. Like, that's not a guy who's like, oh, fuck, I need to go. Oh, no, I hate this. This is like the worst part of my days. This is a guy who's like, yeah, hey, actually kind of excited to do this, right? His main frustration is that it's complicated, right? Like, it's becoming emotionally complicated for him, and he doesn't know how to handle that, so he's gonna fixate on, let's just do sex stuff, right? That's not a guy who's not excited or consenting to... Anyway, fuck it. Let's move on from this discourse. I don't want to have it. It is a very nice... Let's listen to that musical number again, though. Because it really is a nice Broadway tune. Again, very much entering the situation with 0 HP left.
You too, the butterflies in my stomach. I haven't felt this nervous since I was a little fluffy down nesting. My daring do is half disguised behind the smile. My beak is grinding.
Right, behind the smile. He's putting on a smile for this situation. What a smile he's putting on. Maybe he shouldn't do that. Maybe, like, you know.
Never minding, I swore I wouldn't dwell on the divorce. So for my own health, I'll remind myself that when I see him, I know that it won't feel so tough. I'll believe him and not the voice that says I'm not enough.
The most okay man I have ever seen in my life. I'll believe him and not the voice that says... What a wonderful juxtaposition. Yes!
No need for an arrangement. It can just be him and me. I'll set us free. How perfect it could be.
And like, Bryce Pinkham is doing a good job of delivering the desperation here as well, right? Like, he's oscillating wildly between... like, Broadway singing style and
When I see him, I know that it won't feel so tough. I'll believe him and not the voice that says I'm not enough.
That says I'm not enough! Right, like the screeching.
No need for an arrangement. It can just be him and me. I'll set us free. How perfect it could...
How perfect it could be!
Could be when I see him tonight.
In case you needed a reminder how Blitz thinks of himself.
See him tonight? All right, all right. It's been a while since he begged for attention. Are we okay? Can't really say. I'm getting by.
Oh, is that Blitz trying to give an apple to some hell horses? Oh, that's sweet.
By avoiding his questions.
Right, Blitz here literally saying he's conscious that he's avoiding all of Stolas' questions, right? Like, he's conscious. He knows that he's doing that he's avoiding. Stolas is trying to ask him how he feels, and he knows he's avoiding it.
So complicated. I hate when it's complicated. Why do I always end up in situations that are complicated? Here I go again, getting in my head, so I'll focus on the sexy stuff instead.
When I see
him, I'm gonna do that thing he likes.
I will change
No need to change things. I'll just bring the rope and spice.
Oh, God.
We've got a nice...
Absolutely 0 HP. Like, no recovery tools. Oh, no shielding, no buffs, no nothing.
Got a nice arrangement, and it's working out just fine. We'll keep it light.
I'll fucking die alone if this goes bad.
Oh, man. I feel you, buddy. Like he knows he's the one who's gonna have to clean that up. Again, the way that Stolas treats his imp staff, his butlers, right? Accessories to his own, like, accessories to whatever he's going through, right? So he'll tear everything out of the fridge and crawl in and hide. Well, someone will clean that up, right? Not because he's maliciously trying to dump more work on this guy, but because it just doesn't occur to him. It doesn't enter his mind, right? Which doesn't make it okay at all. Not even a little bit. But it's where he is, right?
Tonight, am I doing something I can't take back?
Relax.
What do you want me if...
Oh, leisure suit loser over here. Oh my god. Like practicing his moves, practicing what he's like,
What do you
oh.
want me if he was free?
We're fine.
We're fine! Everything's cool! Don't worry!
And if he's only here as a prisoner, what kind of monster does that make me?
Right? Stolas is overthinking desperately. He's doing nothing but overthinking, and his overthinking is Phantom of the fucking Opera with the drama, right? Like, taking his cloak, swinging it around, right? He's not even putting it on normal style. He's like swinging it around, clasping it about his shoulders. I am a villain of this piece, right?
What kind of...
Like, what kind of monster does that make me? And then Blitz is like, everything's cool. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
monster?
It's like Blitz is desperately trying to underthink it, right? He's trying to not read anything into anything. He's trying to not understand any subtle signals. Like, ignore everything that indicates that anything needs to change. Men will literally sing an entire tragic music number instead of go to couples therapy. Yes!
What does that make me? My entire life's been written in stone. He taught me that I could choose. He deserves the choice to stay or go.
Right. Here, Stolas is correct. He deserves the choice to stay or go. But then Stolas doesn't give him the choice. Right? He thinks he is. He thinks he's giving him the choice. He thinks he's allowing him the option. But he forgot the important part where he, like, gave him time and to process things and, like, listen to him and asked him what he actually wanted. That's an important part of the thing. Like, he got the first part, which is, like, realizing that it's important for him to offer him the choice. But then the second part of the part where he actually does that, he kind of forgot about that bit. Because, again, he's seeing this in terms of fucking opera, in terms of poetry, in terms of, like, universes colliding and stars falling out of the sky, right? He can't engage with Blitz on the level that Blitz needs, which is a very, very pedestrian and direct way.
It scares me to think what I'd lose.
Can't wait to lose ourselves in nasty sex and make that bird squawk.
Really must converse.
We'll just stick.
Sad dad. Like, lots of junk food. Clearly this guy's been eating his way to courage last night. Funky ovals. Weird shapes for sad demons.
We'll just stick with what makes sense, like him sucking my...
Oh, this is the worst. Waiting for the shoe to drop.
Who needs words when you got a mouth full of...
Come to your senses.
Then I'll do that thing with my tongue where
He's worthy of your love and trust.
I'll leave his bird was nice and rough.
Tonight cannot come
He'll
soon.
be coming soon
enough.
Oh, yeah!
But when I see him, will it be tender or be tough? Will it please him, or will I just be fucking it all up? Can this be a relationship, or am I still naive? I'll set us free, whatever it may be, when I see him tonight.
Anyway, back to the over to the B plot that has nothing to do with anything. Like, I fully believe Stolas sat the whole time in his room waiting. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, he dresses up, and that's another reason why he's so exhausted by the time it finally happens, is because he has spent the entire day fully dressed up, just waiting for it. Blitz has been out shopping, preparing, doing things, like building himself up, getting himself ready, like really sort of getting into the groove of it, like getting prepared, getting excited. And Stolas has spent the whole day, just the whole day, in like permanent anxiety, permanent fear, just permanent dread of everything that could possibly go wrong. The poor boy. They go so over the top. Cassettes are us closing down always. Yeah, they would be. This guy drops his ice cream. He's still fucking trying to eat it. What a doofus. What a dork. What an unhygienic man. Oh, the fucking dorks, though. They're still not compelling villain, but at least they're a little bit more fun this way. Like, as enablers, right? As enablers of other villains, like, to be like, way more dangerous and effective that they possibly could be on their own. I do like that. Like, that works pretty well, I think. Like, troublemakers not in and of themselves, but in, like, by just creating the conditions for trouble to arise in other ways. That works better. Because, like, as direct antagonists to Blitz and Moxie, like, no. It's like, no.
You're out here.
Harp shooting there, Mox. Pro as usual. Millie? Beautiful bloody mess in there. Fuck! What a great fucking day this is.
You sure seem in good spirits today, sir. It's rare to see you wear something not bad.
Well, first of all, fuck you. It's the full moon. I gotta meet up with Stolas tonight. Felt like dressing up a little since it's been a few months since I've been inside of his feathered ass.
A few months?
Yeah,
Wait, you haven't gotten laid in for a few months? Oh no! Fuck, okay. Listen. I could keep going, I think, for a while. But I think it has to end here. And I think we are also ending the stream for tonight, because I can feel my voice is starting to give out. Which is a little disappointing. Like, we've only been going for... let me check here. Yeah, about 10 and a half hours. Something like that. 12 hours. Yeah, okay, sure. 12 hours it is. Which, you know, that's a little disappointing for me. I'm sorry. Like, I swear, like, it's never usually like this. I usually, you know, I last a lot longer than this. Yeah, I've just, you know, the work has been stressful. I haven't gotten a lot of sleep, right? It's like, but, you know, give me 10 minutes and I'll be ready again. I'm sorry, I couldn't help it. So I think we'll leave the full moon here. And then, much like with the other episode, if there's a bunch of comments that are, like, interesting or, like, worth discussing or talking about or bringing up, maybe I'll do a follow-up reaction, like, well, not a reaction, a follow-up video talking about through some of the comments. Doing some stuff with this. So, say goodbye to YouTube, everyone. And goodbye, YouTube.